Welcome to Sophie Daddy's channel. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the most powerful and honestly, most misunderstood ideas in all of modern finance. It's a piece of math that acts as the hidden engine behind trillions of dollars in the markets, a formula that basically tamed randomness and built the world of quantitative finance as we know it. We are talking about Ito's lemma. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to see why the math you learned in high school just completely breaks down in the chaotic world of markets. Then, we'll uncover this surprising, hidden rule inside all that chaos. We'll see how a mathematician named Kiyoshi Ito used that rule to build a new kind of calculus, how that calculus built the entire field of modern finance, and finally, what it all means for how we think about risk and value. Okay, so let's start with the big problem. The world that Isaac Newton and his calculus described was, really nice and orderly. Think planets moving in orbit, apples falling from trees, everything is smooth, it's predictable. Financial markets, though, they are the exact opposite of that. Yeah, just look at the difference. On the left, that's the world of ordinary calculus. You have this beautiful, smooth curve. At any point, you can draw a perfect tangent line and find its rate of change. Easy. But on the right, that's the reality of a stock chart. It's this jagged, chaotic mess. And here's the crazy part. If you zoom in, it doesn't get any smoother. It just reveals more and more jaggedness forever. This phrase just nails the problem. A stock price path is continuous, right? It doesn't just teleport from $10 to 11, but it's differentiable nowhere. And that's just a fancy mathematical way of saying you can't find a clean slope, a predictable rate of change at any single point. It's just too rough, too chaotic. And this is the catastrophe. The chain rule is one of the most fundamental tools in calculus, but it has one big assumption that things are locally smooth. And that's just not true for financial data. Trying to use it here is like trying to measure a coastline with a yardstick. The answer you get totally depends on how small your ruler is. And the real answer is, well, it's basically infinite. The old tools are officially broken. So if the old math is useless, what are we supposed to do? Well, this is where the story gets really, really cool. It turns out that buried deep inside all of that random noise, there's a predictable, almost magical rule just waiting to be found. Okay, I know this table looks a little scary, but the whole secret is right there in that third row. See, in normal calculus, when you take a tiny step and square it, like dt squared, it becomes so ridiculously small that you just call it 0 and ignore it. But look at the random step, dwt. Because it can be positive or negative, its square, dw squared, is always positive. And this is the mind-blowing part. All those tiny random squared jitters don't cancel out. They add up to something real, something predictable. They actually behave just like a regular time step, dt. This is it. This is the secret key that unlocks the entire universe of quantitative finance. dwt squared equals dt. It means the variance of a random process, how much it wiggles around, grows predictably, linearly, with time. It feels like it shouldn't be true, right? Randomness squared should just be more randomness. But it's not. It's deterministic. This amazing property has a name, quadratic variation. Think about it. If you tried to measure the total distance a stock price travels up and down, that jagged line goes on forever. The distance is infinite. But if you take each tiny little price change, square it, and then add all those squares up, you get a finite, predictable number. We've found a little piece of stability in a completely unstable system. So, how did this amazing hidden rule get put to use? Well, armed with this incredible insight, a Japanese mathematician named Kiyoshi Ito built a whole new version of calculus, a corrected version that could finally handle the beautiful mess of financial markets. And the logic behind it is actually so elegant. Ito started with a classic tool called a Taylor expansion, which is just a way to approximate functions. He plugged in the random stock price process, but here's the key. Instead of throwing away those squared terms like everyone always did, he applied our new hidden rule. dwt squared is just dt. And when he simplified everything, a brand new term just magically popped out of the math. And this right here is that new term. This is the heart and soul of the lemma. It's called the Ito correction. It's the one piece of the puzzle that classical calculus was missing all along, the secret ingredient needed to make the formulas work in a random world. So what is this thing really? You can think of it as a kind of phantom force, or a phantom drift. It's telling us that the value of something, say a financial option, doesn't just change because the stock price moves. It also changes because of an interaction between the stock's volatility, how much it jumps around, and the shape or curvature of the option's payoff. Volatility itself actually creates a directional push. And let me tell you, this one little mathematical correction didn't just fix some obscure formula. It unleashed an absolute revolution. It gave us the toolkit to build the entire structure of modern quantitative finance. And to really get a feel for it, let's use an analogy. I mean, it seems like a paradox, doesn't it? If something is just randomly jittering back and forth, left and right, with no bias, how can that possibly create a consistent push in one direction? This is my absolute favorite way to visualize this. Just picture a bead sitting at the very bottom of a U-shaped wire. Now, don't push the bead itself. Instead, just grab the whole wire and vibrate it randomly left and right. What's going to happen to the bead? Well, because of the curve, a jump to the left sends it a little bit up the side, and a jump to the right also sends it a little bit up the side. So even though the average vibration is 0, the average change in the bead's height is positive. The bead actually climbs. That upward push, that is the Ito correction in physical form. More vibration is just more volatility, and a tighter curve, what we call more convexity in finance, means you get an even stronger push. Ito's lemma doesn't just describe this effect, it quantifies it perfectly. This idea then becomes an incredibly powerful tool in its killer app, the Black-Scholes option pricing model. The logic is just pure genius. You build a little portfolio with one option and some of the underlying stock. Then you apply Ito's lemma to see how the portfolio's value changes. And then, and this is the magic step, you choose your stock position so that it perfectly cancels out all the random, jittery parts of the formula. And when you do that, something totally mind-blowing happens. The variable that represents the stock's expected return, what direction you think it's going to go, it just completely vanishes from the equation. The price of an option, it turns out, has nothing to do with whether you're bullish or bearish. It only depends on stuff you can actually see, like volatility and interest rates. Ito's lemma let us create a risk-free asset out of thin air, and that changed everything. So let's just zoom out for a second and appreciate the legacy of this incredible idea. It's so much more than a formula. It's a whole new way of seeing the world. It's like the code for deciphering chaos. For a quant, the lemma really plays 3 key roles. It's the calculator, giving you that precise correction for volatility. It's the architect, giving you the blueprint to build risk-free portfolios, which is the whole basis of hedging. And it's the GPS, letting you navigate between the messy real world of what people think will happen and this clean, theoretical, risk-neutral world where you can calculate prices with certainty. If you take away just one thing from all of this, let it be this. In a simple, linear world, the average of the results is the same as the result of the average. But our world isn't linear. In a world with volatility and curved payoffs, like an options contract, that's not true anymore. The constant jitter of volatility fundamentally changes the expected outcome. And Ito's lemma is the law that tells us by exactly how much. And that kind of leaves us with one final big question. Ito's lemma gives us these amazing tools to calculate a price, a single, precise number that we get by taming all that randomness. But if the world is truly built on this infinite, chaotic jaggedness, does that single, perfect price ever really exist? Or is it just our best attempt to draw a straight line through the very heart of chaos?